Hey everyone, welcome to lesson number 5 of the first course, Alphabet and Pronunciation. My name is Mustafa Nasser as always, and you are watching Arabic for Nuns. Today's lesson is about two more groups of similar shaped letters. Each one contains again 2 letters. Let's begin. Before we start, I would like you to subscribe the channel, activate the bell and like the video. Don't forget to leave your question in the comments. I will be there checking your questions. The first group in today's lesson contains letters A and Ra. A, Ra. Both of them are throat sounds, but not both of them are produced from the same spot of the throat. In the upcoming lessons, we will discover that the throat in Arabic language is divided into 3 areas. And the throat sounds, which are 6 in numbers, are equally distributed in these 3 areas of the throat. We will see more in the course. Now, let's look at the first letter. The first letter looks like this, and we pronounce it as A. The sound comes from the throat, A. You feel like your mouth is filled with the sound, A. Don't focus now on the way of pronouncing the letter. We will see more in the course. Here is an example. A, like in Ayn. A, Ayn, an I. And this word also means the name of this letter. So, Ayn means an I or refers to letter A. The second letter of this group looks like this, the same shape except for this dot on top. We pronounce it as Ra. Ra. It's equivalent to the French R if you're familiar with French. And this sound is also in German. Ra is also a throat sound. Ra, ra. Here is an example. Ra, rabe. Ra, rabe. A forest. Now, let's look at the second group. The second group contains these 2 letters. Letter Fa and Qa. Fa, Qa. This is the only group in Arabic alphabet whose letters have more differences than the number of dots. As we saw in this course, the letters of each group have exactly the same shape, except for the number of dots. This is the only difference. But this group, it has 2 more differences apart from the number of dots. We will know about these 2 differences in the practice of this lesson. Let's look at the first letter. Looks like this, and we pronounce it as Fa. Just normal F sound in English. Fa. Like in this word, Fa, Fa'ra. Fa, Fa'ra. Fa'ra means a rat. The second letter in this group looks like this, and we pronounce it as Qa. Qa. You feel like the sound comes from the throat, but it is not a throat sound. It comes from the back of the mouth cavity. Qa. At the back of the mouth. Qa. Okay? This represents the heart pattern. Let's look at this example. Qa, like in qalam. Qa, qalam. A pen. Okay, let's summarize the lesson. The first group contains 2 letters, letter A and letter Ra, and both of them are throat sounds. And the second group contains also 2 letters. The first one is Fa, while the second one is Qa. Now, let's practice. Welcome back. This is practice number 5 of the first course, Alphabet and Pronunciation. Today we have the 2 groups we covered in lesson number 5 in this course. The first group, we will be having the starting point a little up the line. First, we will do one curve anti-clockwise. From up to down, anti-clockwise, a small curve like this. And then from here, we will do another curve which is bigger than this one, and it's going below the line, like this. And here is it. Here is the first letter. Letter A has no any dots. And the second one, letter Ra, has the same shape. We start a little from up, a small curve going anti-clockwise, and then a bigger curve going below and is also anti-clockwise. Okay, and letter Ra has a single dot on top. Let's now look at the second group in this lesson. The first letter, letter Fa, I'll be having the starting point a little up the line again. First, I will do a complete cycle clockwise. This time we're going clockwise. Here we went anti-clockwise, while here we will go clockwise. So from a little up the line, I will go clockwise, complete cycle, and then I will do one boat like this. And there is one dot on top. The second letter in this group, we will start from the standard line this time. The first step is the same as this one here. We will do a complete cycle clockwise, like this. We start from the line, we'll do complete cycle like this, and then we stretch it down to make a curve, cycle a curve like this. And here we have two dots. Now, let's establish the differences between these two groups. They have more differences than the number of dots. First, the starting point. Here, we started a little up the line, while here, we started from the line itself. To realize the difference, let me do one straight horizontal line from the bottom of this cycle, like this. So as you can see, this cycle is completely above the line, while this one is resting on the standard line. The second difference between these two letters of the second group is the body of the letter. This body looks like a boat, which is the same boat in this group of letters. You remember from the first lesson, letters B, T, and Th. This boat is the same as this one. And the body of the second letter, this curve, is the same curve in this group of letters. Se, She, or Sa and Da, they all have the same cyclic curve which is going below the line. And finally, the third difference, which is obvious now, the number of dots. This letter here has only one dot, while this one has two dots on top. So this is the only group in Arabic alphabet whose letters have more differences than the number of dots. Okay, let's do them one more time. The first group, letter A, we start a little up the line, small curve anti-clockwise, and then a bigger curve below the line. This curve here is the same curve in this group of letters. Letters J, H, and Kha from the second lesson. Both of them have the same circular curve which is going below the line. Okay, this is letter A, no any dots. The second letter in this group is the same shape, letter Ra, circular curve, and then another one going below. And don't forget this dot. Whenever I do this letter, I do it all in one step. I do not raise my hand. Okay, now the second group. Letter Fa, we start a little up the line again. We will do a complete cycle clockwise and then a boat. I will do it all in one shot. Look at that. And don't forget the dot. Letter Qa, we start from the standard line this time. We will do the same first step here, a cycle, and then we will do a circular curve below the line. I will do it all again in one shot. Look at that. Circle and circular curve below the line. And don't forget the 2 dots. I meant to repeat every practice twice so that to encourage you to practice more than once. I hope you practice this into your notebook, and if you have any questions left, please ask me in the comments. I'll be there for you. See you in the next lesson.